Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hey world, hey world. So anyway, welcome back to my channel, I Sweets Tea. Spilling tea, sense and nonsense. Let's keep going. So anyway, this one is about Rebecca Loos and David Beckham. I haven't seen the full documentary yet, but I love the Beckhams. Been a fan of Victoria since the Spice Girls, since a child. Followed Victoria's story. And also, obviously, Victoria's married to David Beckham, the hottest guy, one of the hottest guys in the world. So obviously, I'm a fan of David and Victoria, and I'm always going to be on David and Victoria's side. But anyway, this is about Rebecca Loos. So obviously, they brought it back up, the whole affair, David and Rebecca Loos. So obviously 20 years, it's been 20 years since her kiss and tell story. I remember being young. See, when you're younger and you're a kid and you don't know anything, you're like, oh, she's an effing bitch, she's a whore, she's a slut. Victoria should slap her. But when you're an adult, it's kind of different. I'm not saying it's good, it's not good, no one should have an affair. But obviously as a kid, you're on Victoria's side and you're on David's side, and you don't want to see that bitch anywhere. She's a bitch, she's a whore, she's a slag. Rebecca Loos, not the Beckhams. But anyway, so it's been 20 years since her kiss and tell story while she was working as David and Victoria's PA. David was playing for Real Madrid at the time. And I can't remember, but I think Victoria was bringing out music. And she was not with him. Or was she having another kid and not with him? Anyway. So anyway, the story hit headlines again. And I said to myself, if this documentary brings that up, this woman is going to go and pick her checks. She's going to go cash in. She's going to cash in. Because I said, oh no, I hope they don't bring that. I hope they don't bring up that bit. But it was a huge story. I remember when I was young. That was huge. That story was huge. So anyway, I knew that she would pipe up, come out the woodworks and, go and start collecting her cash, collecting her checks left, right and centre. But anyway, David was playing for Real Madrid. The story hit headlines again. And obviously in the documentary, Victoria says, it was the hardest period. The world was against them, her and David. But then she said that they were against each other. I mean, yeah, the press was following them. I remember they took a trip somewhere, and I think the world was thinking, are they fighting? And I think she kissed him on a ski trip or something. Anyway, yeah, it was a huge story. So anyway, Rebecca Loos now lives in Norway she has a family, she has a husband, and she's got kids, and I think she said that she got her husband because of this affair story. So she ended up getting something good out of it, but it's not good. It's not good that it happened. But I think in a way it might have made David and Victoria's love stronger. And I think Victoria's prettier than Rebecca Loos. That's so childish, isn't it? But no, I'm a Spice Girl fan, and it's not just because I'm a Spice Girl fan. I just think Victoria looks better. But anyway, but I can understand that David was on his own. He was young. He was, under a lot of pressure. He was young, and So anyway, now Rebecca Loos has a new life in Norway. She's a yoga instructor. She's got kids. She explained she would rather not have to, go through all of this again. But obviously, she doesn't like the way she mentioned she doesn't like the way David played the narrative of not giving the full story or something like that. Anyway, she said he claimed the story was ludicrous, and she said he never denied it. So I think journalist and her said he never denied it, and then she said something like he said it's ludicrous, and a lawyer can tell someone that has done something to say it's ludicrous. It doesn't mean yes you did it. It doesn't mean no you didn't do it. It just means it's ludicrous. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. So anyway, she she doesn't like the way he played narrative. Apparently that's why she's doing this little tour of her interviews here and there. My God, just say you want the money, you want the money, you want the checks. You feel like they used you in this documentary, even though I haven't seen this part, but it was a big story. It was huge. She didn't give. Yeah, so anyway, back in the day when the whole thing happened, she didn't give the Beckhams any warning. So why should the Beckhams give Beckham's PA team or PR team give her any warning that the Beckham was making a documentary that's going to come out on Netflix? So basically I think a reporter was saying to her, did they give you any warning? Because I think sometimes around the back, a PR team contact the other person's PR team and say, oh, this is going to happen. But really and truly, why should the Beckhams contact her? I mean, she's not really someone they want to keep. She ain't really someone they want to keep in contact with. Oh my dear, you ain't someone they want to keep in contact with. You had an affair, love. So anyway, she said all men have affairs, and which is not good. If you're married, don't be doing that shit. But fair enough, life is life, and we don't know people's story. We don't know what people are going to see in life. We don't know, God forbid, if somebody's husband is beating the wife, or somebody's wife, the wife is beating the husband. Of course, they're going to go off to someone they feel more comfortable with, but not wishing out on anyone. But yeah, I think he was young. David was young, and he was far from home, and he didn't speak the language, and yeah, but he's a good man. He's a solid man, handsome, beautiful. He loves Victoria. David loves Victoria like to death. But anyway, this Rebecca Loos, she said in this interview that it all looks staged. Maybe it was staged. She feels the documentary might have been a bit staged or rehearsed, but that's his life. I'm sure it was about his life. It was his life anyway. But yeah, of course, people have to, go through, if somebody's writing a book or doing a documentary, you go through what you remember about your life and the bits that you want to give to the public and the bits that you might not want to give to the public. So, I don't know, she said she watched it all, and she said she felt it was all rehearsed, or their brand or their PR team made it all for them, for the show to be for them, when it is actually their show. So anyway, telling her side of the Netflix documentary, she woke up to horrible messages on Instagram, and she's never experienced this before, because when her Beckham affair happened, when Rebecca Loos, so the story about the Beckham affair, there was no Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, there was none of that. There was no social media, so she didn't have all this abuse. So now she wants some money on her checks. So now she's annoyed. She's annoyed, she's never... So anyway, now she's just annoyed that she's annoyed that she feels that he never acknowledged responsibility. So basically, she's coming out in these interviews saying, oh, he should have taken responsibility. He should have just stood up and said, yeah, I had an affair, and I'm sorry, and the end. I mean, he doesn't really need to come to the public and say that. Maybe he spoke personally to Victoria. Maybe he spoke personally to, he doesn't owe the public anything. Maybe in his private house, he spoke with Victoria, and I wish that never happened in their marriage, because I love David and Victoria together. I love that they've got a beautiful little family, and it's just a shame that that little thing happened. But you know, life is not just so simple. Life is, you know, it's not, you know. But anyway, so then Rebecca went on to say that she told her kids she's going to be doing some interviews, and she told her kids that how she felt about trolls and bullies online. Because obviously after the documentary, I don't know if they mentioned her name, I haven't seen it yet, but I want to watch all of it, and I will. So obviously, like she said, like we know, there was no social media back then, and she said she explained to her kids, you know, obviously this trolling is happening because she had an affair with Beckham, and she said one of her kids said they weren't too sure of Beckham, but they know of Messi. Can it be Messi or something? Anyway, that's Rebecca Loos chatting about this whole Beckham thing. But I just knew. I said, oh, if they mentioned that part of his life, which it was a big part, it was a huge part. Because imagine Victoria and the big Spice Girls, and then David's big, huge footballer, and the two beautiful people marrying. And then for the press, that story was, you know, a big story, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, it happened, it's past. Hopefully Rebecca will stop telling her side, and just leave everyone to just get on with life. She's got her husband and her kids, and even though she met him because she had the Beckham affair, but hopefully the Beckhams are stronger, and their love is going to last forever till they're 100. And yeah, I'm always going to be on the Beckham side, but whether it happened or it didn't happen, like and subscribe. Thank you.